One.
Ladies and germs, you're listening to Rock Bottoms.
Hello, you're listening to Rock Bottoms, a podcast of substance.
I am your host, Amanda Corday.
And with you, as always, the Weasel.
You are loud today, Weasel. I think you're getting your mic's a little hot.
I just want to be known as the Weasel from now on when we do this.
Okay. It seems like a fitting nickname.
I'm your little shock jock co-host.
Hey, fingers and thumbs straight up the butt. Here is your next tune.
Amanda Knox riding the Sibian today.
She's like, Mamma mia. She learned Italian in
prison.
Amanda the Fox Knox.
I know. Love that lady. Honestly, I do.
Okay, speaking of wrongful imprisonment, I went into a deep research hole last night about Typhoid Mary.
Is this a friend of yours?
Well, for legal reasons, I can't go into that, whether I was in contact with her or not.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a place in New York City called North Brother Island. It's an island that sort of sits in the East River. You can see it when you're like on the east side or driving on the FDR. And It's abandoned, and it's been abandoned for like a century. And every 5 to 10 years, the Parks Department or somebody in the local government tries to turn it into a park. But it is basically a shanty town that's been overgrown by plants where people with typhoid and then later where heroin addicts were sent to this asylum, and now it's just covered in shit and birds and poison ivy and dilapidated. And Typhoid Mary was quarantined there for 30 years against her will because she was an asymptomatic carrier of typhoid and was spreading it around like it was fucking herpes because she was cooking for people.
We gotta gentrify this island.
I think it would make a beautiful park. It's a really, really, really pretty looking piece of land. It's just the architecture is all from the early 1900s and it's still there and it's just falling apart and there's no access to it.
We gotta put a crumble cookie there.
That's what it needs. It needs a crumble cookie and it needs a bar.
A stretch lab. It needs a bar that's owned by Justin Theroux.
Honestly, a Justin Theroux run bar called Typhoid Mary's.
That would do
on North Brother Island that you can only access by ferry.
Yeah,
that's on brand for him.
It is on brand. Him and Nicholas Braun can just ship some people off there.
Wait, who's Nick? Do I know Nicholas?
Cousin
Greg.
I
know Cousin Greg. Yeah, a bar entrepreneur.
Bar entrepreneur.
He's tall. My sister once gave him her phone number many years ago.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I immediately regretted saying that. Sorry!
It's okay. Bleep it out.
I'll bleep it out.
Bleep it.
I have a little ASMR to do. You are sounding very loud in my headphones, but that could just be my
Well, I'm a loud guy. I'm the fucking Weasel.
You're the Weasel. Okay, here we go with This is a Heineken Zero.
Ooh.
I cooked chili recently and got some Heineken Zero to go with it. Sponsor us? Maybe. Ooh, I smell it. It smells like a Heineken.
It's a good non-alc.
Mm-hmm. It really tastes like beer, which is to say it's sort of a mediocre taste, and drinking it without alcohol feels a little pointless, like it's just sort of missing that element. But, I thought for the listeners who are maybe looking for some alcohol alternatives, Heineken Zero is a good fake.
Yep. I connected with a sober person yesterday at the gym.
Oh, fantastic.
It came up that they were sober. They're 3 years sober.
Amazing.
They're still in their early 20s. They're 26.
Wow, that is really impressive.
Yeah, but they were saying, they're like, I just bring a big-ass bottle of sparkling water to parties, and, like,
I've got one of those right here as well.
Yeah, I just sucked down on that. I'm like, yeah, it's a good alternative.
This
like,
person, him.
her.
She brings a seltzer, a personal seltzer, like
Personal
personal
seltzer.
large seltzer.
Yeah, like a big ass one to walk around and drink.
That's a move. I went to a dinner party the other night and I brought a big bottle of Pellegrino as my sort of like gift to the hosts, and I couldn't decide if that was like annoying or classy.
Well, it's not classy.
To give Pellegrino, it's better than giving like a Schweppes.
Yeah.
I mean, not to shit on Schweppes. Schweppes is nice.
Cheap ass drink.
But I don't like, I didn't want to bring a bottle of wine. She had said in the group chat that there was already a lot of wine, and so not to bring it.
So you brought Pellegrino.
I often bring flowers, but I felt like, but she has a lot of allergies, and so I was like, I don't want to chance it with the flowers.
I mean, you might as well just bring tap water. Like a Mason.
What do you have against Pellegrino?
I have nothing against it, but I'm not bringing it to a dinner party. I'm bringing nothing.
You show up. I don't even show up to like a friend's house for a casual hang empty-handed. I don't do it.
I mean, I'll bring soda pop. That's what I'll bring. Because most people don't serve soda pop anymore.
Soda pop is a nice thing to bring. I guess.
And that's what we're calling it, soda pop again.
My mom has always said soda pop. And I was like, God, you're such a fucking loser.
Soda pop.
What century are you living in?
Well, they say soda pop is very Midwestern.
Ooh, the soda pop, bop, she bop, she bop.
They just say
Clock is
pop,
ticking and
though.
you can't stop.
And in Texas, they say Coke for everything.
Yeah, Coke for all sodas.
All sodas.
You know what? I'm just going to have a Coke. I'm going to have onion rings and a Coke.
Yeah, and I've been watching The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
You told me I should watch this.
And they have a really strong, probably the strongest in the world, soda culture in the Mormon church. And these girls they're having parties where they're having a soda jerk come to the parties and make like extreme sodas. And they're not just doing like adding flavored syrup and shit. They do that, but they add coffee mate creamer to their sodas.
Okay, that is living.
Yeah, so it's like a Dr. Pepper with like vanilla syrup and like some coconut coffee mate creamer, and you shake that shit up.
Ooh.
It sounds really good. I mean,
it sounds like sort of a take on a Starbucks, one of those.
Yeah, it's like Starbucks, but like they don't drink coffee. So
right.
This is what they do.
But a lot of Mormons drink Diet Coke.
They drink Diet Coke. They drink Diet Dr. Pepper. I like these girls
hypocrisy,
a lot. I like them a lot. They're all about loopholes.
Yeah, they're about finding. I don't know why religion-wise, why a Diet Coke is not tantamount to a cup of coffee, but it's not a sin. Coffee is a sin. Diet Coke is God's plan.
Coffee is a sin. Diet Coke is good. Sex before marriage, sin. Getting married
I hate sex before
getting
marriage.
Married at 16 so you
God's
can have
plan.
sex. That's fine.
Joseph Smith's plan.
Joseph Smith. We love Joseph Smith because he just made some shit up.
He was wilding out with Nick Cannon, and he was getting a lot of people on board with his
getting a lot of pussy, I tell you that.
Cuckoo-ness.
He was just like, you know what? You should all be married to me. You should give me that sweet, tight Mormon CrossFit pussy.
That is the life hack of all time. The polygamy life hack.
I really could get down with it,
Oh my God, speaking of polygamy, you were in my dream last night, and you were on one.
What was I doing, baby? Hey, baby, lay it on me. What was the Weasel doing in your dream?
Okay, we were hanging out at like an outdoor cafe next to the gas station that's near that 101 exit that's next to the In-N-Out on Cahuenga.
Oh, I know that one. I know that gas station.
Yeah, there was like a cool outdoor cafe there, and you, me, and Lizzie's a friend of the pod, we were hanging out there, and you were like, I wanted to show you guys this thing that I got Veronica for her birthday. So for new listeners, Veronica is Dave's girlfriend, and you wanted to show us, because we were her good friends, something that you made for her to see if we liked it. And this was the jankiest, ugliest piece of shit I've ever seen in my life.
The fuck?
You made bad stained glass and crystal art. But this element of it was cool.
So I'm not going to show you the art that I'm making because it sounds like this.
Are you really making stained glass art?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I predicted it in my dreams.
Okay, what was it? How bad was it?
It was basically 4 panes, or like 4 panels, and each one was a different color mix of crystals and stained glass. But this is what made it like, I could see you actually showing us that and being like, do you think this is pretty? This is what made it a fucking dream. Was we were looking at it, and each one was a poem, and we could see the poetry, like hear the lines just by looking at it.
Yeah.
Like there were no words.
That's what good art does.
Exactly. But you were attempting to rhyme the word rectum many, many times.
Yeah. I can rhyme the word rectum many times.
You can, and you did. In the dream, Lizzie and I kept looking at each other and trying to figure out a way to say, like, why do you need to use the word rectum so many times in
because
the
it's
poem?
Her fucking birthday. And I love her. And I wanted it to be
there was
special.
a whole stanza about holy water.
Yeah.
And the rectum. Maybe putting holy water into a rectum?
Oh, like holy water.
Yeah,
like for your hole.
There were definitely puns. There were puns.
I mean, it's your girl's birthday. You want to do something nice, so you take her friends out to a outdoor cafe under the highway, and you show your art, and that's how they respond. Did Lizzie not like it?
We were both impressed and bewildered.
You guys don't have good taste, though. That's the issue.
Well, that's
here.
the thing. That's the thing, and that's what my dream was trying to communicate to me. I think maybe what it was you were trying. It was maybe your way of a creative way of asking your girlfriend to have anal sex.
Yeah, I mean,
with poems and stained glass.
Honestly, that is how I would do that sort of thing, because I'm a gentleman.
With poetry, you're a gentleman. You wouldn't just flat out ask it. But
isn't that why anyone makes art?
Yeah.
So that they can get in the butt.
Yeah, you think Picasso made Guernica for any other reason than he wanted some back door?
Yeah, he like showed it to a 16-year-old. Oh, check out my painting, or however he talked. I don't know.
Who was that? That was him, if he was from Russia.
Yeah, where is Picasso from?
Picasso was famously Spanish.
Dude, I thought he was French.
No, man, his name's Pablo Picasso.
Pablo Picasso, you are canceled.
Pablo Picasso had children well into his 70s and is canceled.
That's not a problem.
That part's not a problem, but it was the 8 that he was with little girls.
Age
but
gap
listen, this
discourse.
was a different time.
Listen.
And he was a really good painter.
I know, and I can't have age gap discourse with you because I'm in an age gap relationship, and I know
true.
You don't approve.
I think the man being younger in a straight relationship is disgusting.
It is gross. It's especially gross because I look like 15 years older, so it's confusing.
I don't think you look that much older.
I don't know, man.
I'm not trying to flatter you. I just think factually you guys look about the same age. Or you maybe look a little bit older because you're bigger and she's very
bigger,
petite.
yeah, so she's still growing.
She's still growing, yeah.
She's still growing, yeah.
Well,
it's true.
Long story short, the last thing I remember before waking up from the dream was I looked at Lizzie and I went, oh God, Dave relapsed.
Yeah, did you wake up in a panic? Like shoot up in your
No,
sleep?
it was more of I just woke up and was like, huh. And then I kind of laughed. I kind of chuckled to myself, like,
Well-
that was a crazy dream.
I'll say, if I'm ever making, like, some Etsy bullshit, then I probably did relapse.
Those are the red flags we should be
Yeah,
looking
like,
out
if
for.
I'm making, like, pillow shams, like, then I'm on drugs.
The problem is that, yeah, you're on drugs and you think you know how to make a pillow sham.
Yeah, I'm just like, look how good this fucking thing is.
Speaking of drugs, what you tweaking on today?
What am I tweaking on?
In our segment, what you tweaking on?
What are you tweaking on?
Yeah, isn't that cool? I forgot, I gotta bring the soundboard back.
Yeah, people really responded to that.
Okay, did they? Oh my
Yeah,
god.
well, not specifically, but the numbers show that episode did well, despite my complaining the entire time that there were too many fart sounds.
Okay, cool. Well, that's good. So what I'm tweaking on today, I had a Starbucks Nitro cold brew.
God, that sounds like a heart attack in a can.
I had a Rain Body Fuel Rainbow Sherbet energy drink. I had 2 cups of coffee.
Okay.
And I had 1 slice of pizza and probably like 6 American Spirits. No, not American Spirits, Lucky Strikes.
Oh, you're still on the Lucky Strike roll.
Well, I'm just like switching it up. So, you know, it's a lot of caffeine and nicotine today.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been caffeined up all day, and it's a problem because I've been, for the last few weeks, starting the day with caffeine, and then caffeine's an appetite suppressant, and so I don't eat, and then I crash, and it's like, 30 years of drinking caffeine, and I don't learn.
Well, the cigarettes and the caffeine, they help me not eat. And I was talking to my gym partner, Ray, who's a 71-year-old muscle man, because I was smoking a cigarette before our lift together, and he was telling me, he's like, that reminds me of the 80s. All the bodybuilders would smoke so they wouldn't eat.
Sure, yeah. I mean,
yeah.
Isn't that sort of, I feel like that's been cigarettes have been appetite suppressants forever.
Yeah.
That's certainly something people have always used and abused in order to lose weight.
Models and housewives and like all of those golden age actors who, like the men who had these lithe bodies, like Jimmy Stewart.
Lithe bodies, lungs like a ash, like a
catcher's
saggy,
mitt.
yeah, like a catcher's mitt that's been out in the sun in Phoenix for 100 days.
Yeah, like their lungs looked like Muammar Gaddafi's face, like
Muammar Gaddafi's ball sack.
Muammar Gaddafi's ball sack put on his face. Yeah.
Was that a sound effect?
No, that was just me.
Oh, I thought I heard a sound effect.
No, that was me.
We bring the boom. That's what we do.
This is a sound effect.
For those who can't see, Dave is lip syncing with this music. I'm not familiar with this tune.
Oh, you should be. Wow. It's still going.
God, you make me feel so old and out of touch.
You are out of touch. I mean,
Well, relatively.
yeah. So
I'm watching stuff. I'm keeping up with the Joneses, okay?
how's your sobriety? How are you doing now that
You know
summer
what?
is here and summer is drinking outside?
Summer's here,
weather.
and the time is right for dancing in the street and
Yeah,
getting
people are out and about.
fucking
They want to drink.
turned.
They want to drink.
It is hard. It's not an easy time of year to be a sober person. You know, the drink sitting out on the sidewalk is so nice.
Yeah, people talk about the winter months being the hard ones because it's like you're stuck inside.
You're stuck
and,
inside,
like,
you're bored, you're cold.
and isolated. But like,
I mean, it's all hard, let's be honest.
every month is hard.
Every
There's no
month and every
fucking-
season is hard for different reasons.
Yeah.
I how am I doing? I'm sober, and I've had a couple not close to like drinking or relapsing, knock wood, but had a couple times in the last week or so where I was like, I'm gonna go to a meeting. I should go to a meeting. I'm feeling like I'm in a place where and then I didn't, and I would like to this week. Shout out to Perry Street Workshop. It's a meeting in the West Village in New York. They have meetings at that space all day and night. It's been there since maybe the 70s. So I'm gonna go to Perry Street at some point, especially with and I know this month is really hard for the LGBTQIA plus community. Pride Month is celebratory and fun. All right, I'll drop it.
Keep going. It's hard for them.
It's a hard month to you want to have fun and go out and celebrate, and there's drugs and alcohol everywhere.
Yup.
Baby. It's like being a diabetic and you're surrounded by ho-hos.
Mm-hmm.
And, but I'm good. I'm not, when you mentioned cigarettes, I was immediately like, oh, I want a cigarette. But I'm trying not to do that either.
Well, that's what, so the person I talked to at the gym who's sober, they were telling me, because we were talking about what we do to cope, and I was saying, well, I still smoke cigarettes, and she was saying, she's like, yeah, I can't buy a vape because I know I'll just smoke it all day.
That's exactly what I said.
But I find myself making plans with people who I know will have a vape, so I can rip it.
Yeah. That's major addict brain shit. Just like being when you're, in active addiction and making plans with people will have drugs or will be down to go out and drink all night. Those are my people.
Oh, I loved that shit. I mean, that's who I surrounded myself with for years.
Yeah, or meeting strangers who were like that and then being able to do that with them and have no connection to them whatsoever and maybe never see them again.
Yeah.
But that,
Which is beautiful. I mean, I met a lot of people who I never saw again when I was using.
Yeah, me too.
And I hope they think fondly of me, and I hope they're doing okay.
They don't, and they're not.
Because I think fondly of them. Thank you to the guys in Santa Monica who let me rip coke with them at the bar.
Oh, that's really sweet.
It was really sweet. And
Thank you to the guys in Burbank who were drinking with me and then let me come back and see their music studio at their house near Lake Hollywood. And I'm sorry that I accidentally let your cat out the front door.
And those guys were the Foo Fighters.
I was going to say the Backstreet Boys.
Yep, those guys were the Foo Fighting Backstreet Boys.
You know who they were? You know what they were? They were all the other kids with the pumped up.
Foster the People.
I feel like it was probably them.
He is famously sober.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, he was a really bad addict.
You know what's crazy about that night? Most of that I had blacked out, and then I ended up at that house on a separate occasion and was like, wait, I've been here before, but different people were living in it because it was the same. The music studio was what was unique, and right off of Lake Hollywood, and I was like, why have I been here? And it was that I would just the guys who had lived there previously invited me back. Oh God, just had one of those moments where I was like, thank God I didn't get killed.
Dude, same.
But really weird to end up in that house again. And
you disappeared for me, but I'm here. I can hear you. I just can't see you anymore.
I disappeared.
Well, it's okay. As long as you can hear me, we're fine.
I can hear you.
Oh, now. So listen, I think this is a truncated episode, so I want to get into something. I want to get into what's making me want to relapse.
Please, I've been
my
meaning to
sobriety
ask you
is
this
going
whole
okay
time.
right now. My sobriety is going okay.
That's good.
I wish I didn't have to be sober. I wish I didn't have a disease, but I do.
God, me too.
So I'm just fucked for the rest of my life, and I have to find other things to do, but what's making me want to relapse is one of those things. My favorite thing right now is Love Island USA, and the people on the show
dissertation.
Listen, they're making me want to use a lot of words that we're not allowed to use anymore, because they are so stupid. I will say they are remedial. I think we can say that still. This is a remedial group of people.
And it's a remedial program. It's a good program?
Yes, it's great. It's fascinating, like, the amount of people on this show who cannot speak coherently is really special, because I think it's highlighting this generation that I'm not really familiar with. Like, I'm tapped into the internet.
Yeah.
I know what the kids
You're
like.
very tapped
I know
in.
about Labubu. I know about frickin' Benson
I
Boone.
just learned about Labubu.
Yeah, I know about all this shit, but seeing them outside of a 15-second TikTok that is curated and filmed until it's ready to post is much different.
Seeing them just like move around in the world.
Move around and act and talk. It's like
and interact
a lot
with
of,
other people.
A lot of them, I feel like, never have thought of how they sound. And listen, this is a generation where, like, they did high school during COVID or whatever.
Yeah.
So, like, they didn't have to speak in class in front of people. It was all over a screen and, like, all this shit. And, like, their use of English and rhetoric and their capacity at...
Or lack of.
Yeah, like, forming complete sentences is not there. And, like, they'll say things like, this girl is laughing, and the guy she's partnered up with is like, I like your laugh. And she goes, I laugh when things are funny.
Oh my God.
I'm like, yes. Yeah, that's right.
That's what laughing is.
You do laugh when things are...
Pea.
She's like, I laugh when things are funny. I'm like, yeah. And, like,
Are they mostly speaking in internet talk, like in TikTok talk?
They use a lot of slang where it's like, because so much slang is borrowed from the black and queer communities, you get a lot of white people talking in AAVE.
A lot of white people being like, that's on period.
That's on period. Or just like, purr, and like...
Or just like,
I don't know if you can see my fingers, but like...
I can.
The white girls are like, when someone's saying something and they're agreeing, they're doing this thing...
clicking their nails.
They're doing this like click nails thing.
Yeah.
They're like...
Clicking their nails. It's like, it's drag.
Yeah, so, but that's now, you know, culture always funnels down from the gay and black communities, so now it's like, you have...
It's funneled way down.
Yeah,
this is where it goes at the very end of the funnel.
You have a fucking 23-year-old blonde Katie, I don't know her name, but it's like, just like this,
probably like Kaytee.
Yeah, well, the most amazing name on the show has been Belle, spelled BELLE -A, and she's colloquially known as Beldasha.
Wait,
and she cannot speak.
I was just about to say, my friend was a teacher and had a student named Badasha. And it was B
-A.
and then this symbol dash and A, and my friend was like B-A, and the girl was like, it's Badasha.
Was she black? Because Beldasha is white.
I actually don't know. I just know this was in England.
Okay, because Beldasha is...
So they said Badasha.
Badasha. Beldasha is from Oregon, lives in Hawaii, and speaks with a Toronto accent.
That is confusing.
She's very confusing. Her accent will shift from phrase to phrase. I compared it. She seems like someone who learned English from emojis. She is off the show. Spoiler alert. She got voted off.
God damn it.
I know,
You
because
spoiled it for me.
none of the men saw her value.
That's the criteria for getting voted off of Love Island?
No, that's what she kept saying. She's like, someone someday will say my value.
Oh my God. Are they drinking a lot on that show, like on The Bachelor?
So they do drink, and they actually don't show it as much as they used to, but like you can tell when someone is drunk because they get emotional.
Yeah, saying someone doesn't appreciate my value sounds like something I would have said when I was drunk.
Yeah, I once
She's assassinating my character, and she does not see my value as a human
once I was
being.
at a party, and a stand-up comedian who I know was a little
Oh God,
drunk.
I'm sorry.
I know, and I'm smoking a cigarette outside, and they come out, and I'm talking to someone, and they just say to me, apropos of nothing, "You don't have high enough of an estimation of me." And I was like, nah, man, like, my estimation of you is perfectly where it should be.
Accurate.
Yeah, but that's such a funny drunk thing to
That's
say to someone.
really just like a very lucid drunk, because language came a
Like
lot.
you're Orson Welles.
Yes.
Like, you don't have high enough an estimation of me.
God, I do miss the handle I had on language after a few drinks, like the adjectives that would flow out of me. The syntax was off the chain. I mean, maybe it was also because this was closer to when I was a student still, so I
Yeah.
was reading more, and I was, fresh out of my education or on my education shit, and now my brain is just fully rotted.
Yeah,
But- But I feel like I stutter, I stammer more as a sober person. I don't know if it's age or sobriety, but I can't always find the words that I'm
definitely
looking
more
for.
lucid. I definitely
are?
speak
Okay.
better because I mean I was blackout like
But you might have said some really eloquent shit when you were blacked out.
I don't think so. I was like a cave dweller.
You were like, you don't have a high enough estimation of me and my cave. Wait, what
Ye-
was the phrase?
You don't have high enough of an estimation of me. And I was like, okay. And this
Okay.
is why you don't hang out with stand-up
I
comedians.
have a high frustration of you.
Yeah.
Stand-up comedians are really fascinating to me. I know a lot of them. I love many of them. I dislike some of them. A lot of them, a few of them that I know are sober. Some could benefit from sobriety. And some are just so work
They could
and
benefit
comedy
from
focused
getting
they don't
some
even have...
fucking ass.
Oh, I don't think comedians have trouble with that.
Yeah, I'm talking about quality ass though.
You're talking about the kind of ass that you get when you make a stained glass piece of Etsy art for someone.
Yeah, and that gets the Wookiee of the day. See, that's something I'm trying out, the Wookiee of the day.
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
No.
Oh, dear.
No. Wookiee of the year would be funny, because that's a play on words. I like the crickets.
You like the crickets? Yeah, fuck me. I guess we're not doing Wookiee of the day.
Wookiee of the day is not based on it. It doesn't. It doesn't land for me. But who?
Well, that was it. That was the Wookiee of the day.
Wookiee of the day, people, and that's crickets on Wookiee of the day. Curtains on Wookiee of the day.
Fuck
Play
me.
those crickets.
Fuck me. Fuck me in the ass. That sucks. I suck at this. Now tell me what's making you want to relapse.
I was just trying
or
to think
else
of that.
I'm gonna throw a fit.
Oh my god, what is making me want to relapse? You know what? Earlier, there was something. I had a good one, and then I forgot it, so obviously it's not that bad. But earlier, I got in an elevator, and the smell of the perfume of the person who was in there before me, I guess, was so overwhelming and got on me. And
Yeah.
stayed on me. And that made me want to go out and just twirl the pookie,
And
smoke
just
some,
get blitzed
get blitzed. I was just like, the
because you
level of...
smelled so good.
No, it wasn't good. It was strong and gross. And it was like... Well,
You smelled like Dior Sauvage. You were
it was
looking
very
like
Chanel. It smelled like
Johnny
Chanel.
Depp.
Yeah,
do you
pretty
like,
much.
Do you like a liberally perfumed person?
No.
No. Okay. Do you wear a scent?
I have a couple that I like. I like scents that are like oody and woody and
Yeah.
warm and
Okay, I
sexy.
like-
And
What
You
about
know,
like
have-
there are like scents that are like based in alcohol, which is like a whiskey.
yeah, there's like whiskey, tobacco.
Yeah. Like it
Those
smells
that
like
tend to be a little too smoky smelling.
smells
for me.
like a bourbon barrel.
Yeah, I
um,
don't like those as much. I like something like a little more
Beachy?
subtle. Something that smells... No, I don't like beachy smell. I like like oud, sandalwood, vetiver, neroli, like woody, earthy.
Woody. Yeah, you want to smell like Woody
I want to
Allen?
smell like... Oh, I was going to... Or Woody the cowboy from Toy Story.
Yeah, no, you want to smell like Woody Allen. Smell
Woody,
like
yeah,
matzo
it's like
ball soup.
I was gonna say, yeah, mothballs, matzo ball soup, and just that kind of like old man smell that you can't really put your finger on, like a
yeah.
rotting tooth.
I'll tell you this. I bet you could put your finger on it if you asked. I think he would be verklempt for you to put your finger on it.
He would enjoy that. The problem with this perfume was it was like Chance by Chanel, which I feel like had a moment, and it's very floral. And I just find that it's like, it's the disregard for everybody else's comfort when you put on that much perfume when you go out. Is like,
I think there's scent blindness, though.
There
Like
is,
they
yeah.
don't know. They're not aware.
You know, like in movies or TV when somebody sprays, like full sprays
Yeah.
directly on themselves? That is crazy to me.
Yeah, I mean...
I feel like you wear scents, but they're... not overpowering like
But I'm
that.
nervous about it because I'm nervous that, like, I want people to think I smell good, but I don't want to be like, you walk in a room and you can notice.
Yeah, it's a fine line. It's like
It is a
finding
fine line.
the balance, and there's something cool about having a scent that's like associated with you or somebody. You know, I love when
Do you like
hug
the smell
someone,
of weed?
No, hate it.
You don't? Okay.
But I smelled
Then
a candle
don't come
recently.
in my van.
That's another thing that makes me want to relapse. Everybody walking down the street smoking joints like they're cigarettes, and the
Smoking
smell
joints,
makes
smoking
me sick.
that good legal kush. Is it legal in New York?
I don't know. It's unclear.
Decriminalized?
There's a weed shop like every couple of blocks, but
Yeah.
they get shut down.
No,
so I don't think
actually
it's fully
like
legal.
the smell.
Do you really?
I do.
I like the smell of cigarettes and cigars, but not pot.
Yeah, I mean, listen, some good Cali Kush, catching that out the window while I'm driving, perks my head up. I'm like, who's smoking loud?
Who's smoking loud? You know what else I'm tweaking on today? Is a CBD balm I got in California that has THC in it.
Damn.
And
where
when
do
I
you
put it on my wrist, I have tendinitis, and I was putting it on my wrist last night, and I was thinking, I wonder what would happen if I put any of this in my mouth.
Oh, yeah.
Like, do you think
should
you get
try.
high from the balm?
I mean,
There is
I think you
THC
put,
in it.
I think you put any balm in your mouth, you're going to feel a little something. Like if you put Neosporin in your mouth, you might start seeing devils.
Tripping?
Tripping.
I might do a little Aquaphor taste test.
Fuck yeah, please
a
do.
little backseatracin right on the tongue.
Oh yeah.
See if I start seeing some shit.
You know what? Also, we have a few minutes. I want to let you do something that I think will mean a lot to you.
What
I'm
is
giving
that?
you the floor to fangirl about the Tony Awards and to rant and rave and explain to me what I missed. And
Oh my god! I mean,
and you had a Tony Award party, right? Or you went to one?
I went to one, and it was glorious. It was a really amazing year. It was the Broadway's highest grossing year in history, which probably has something to do with the fact that just the ticket prices have never been higher.
Yeah,
But
thank you, Denzel Washington.
Thank you, Denzel. Thank you, Kieran. Thank you, Bob Odenkirk and Jake Gyllenhaal and all the other Sarah Snook. But really, the crown jewel of the whole Broadway season was Oh Mary, the play by Cola Scola.
My parents just saw it last week.
Oh my gosh, did they like it? What did
They
they think?
loved it. They loved it.
It's maybe the funniest thing I've ever fucking seen. And I was really, really happy to see Cole win for their performance in it, and Sam Pinkleton, the director, to win for Best Director. It was a play, one of the only ones that didn't have a movie star in it and didn't come from an idea or previously. It wasn't a revival of anything. It was a fresh, new idea, and that was exciting. So that's my fangirl moment, I guess.
Would you say Broadway is back?
Oh, Broadway has been back.
Broadway has been back.
Broadway has been back. Oh, this is another thing. I think film is back because Ma 2 is officially in pre-production.
I know, directed by the great Michael Showalter.
Directed by the great Mike Show.
He will understand this movie and what it needs, and I'm really happy because
he knows how to do camp.
The first one was directed by the guy who did The Help.
It was?
Yeah, man. That's why Octavia Spencer is Ma.
Right. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes
Minnie
sense.
Jackson.
Wow.
And I'm just excited for the Monoverse to continue to build.
The Monoverse. Not to be confused with the Moanaverse, which is also alive and well.
I would drink if Ma invited me to her party.
Would you really?
That's a 100% for me. If Ma FaceTimed me and was like, y'all not gonna make me drink alone, I'd be like, fuck no, I'm heading over to Ma's house.
I can understand that. It's the temptation is real.
It is real because a Ma party goes nuts.
It gets violent. It gets
scary.
Violent. There's death.
There's death, and you know what? Ma is pulling out all these poetic justice punishments on these kids. Like the girl who's really superficial, she burns her so that her skin is ruined. Right. And then the guy who's always cracking jokes, she sews his lips shut.
Yeah, so he's
and
never going to tell a joke again.
Who hangs out with the white kids, she paints his face white.
Yeah, that seemed like a de-escalation.
It did. She's just I'm going to put some fucking Sherwin-Williams paint on his face. That was all the other kids are waking up.
Bone
they're waking
color.
up and they're ah, and he wakes up and gives that same reaction, but he just has paint on his face.
Yeah, nobody flagged that as being one of these things is not like the other.
No, but it was very funny. It was a very funny punishment from Ma, who we stand Ma, free Ma.
We stand Ma, free Ma.
She did nothing wrong.
No, well, that's why she's getting a part 2. But I'm assuming it might be a prequel.
I mean, well, there's kind of a prequel in Ma. We see her as a child.
Oh, well, yeah.
Because
that's the flashback.
Luke Evans did a little bit of a kind of rapey situation with her as a kid.
This movie was pre-pandemic, and I feel like I saw it a lifetime ago.
I mean, I saw it opening night.
I know, I'm envious.
In Santa Fe, New Mexico. I visited a friend of mine from high school, and that is what we did. We watched Ma in the theaters. We talked throughout it. We kept nudging each other, being like, Ma is crazy, which is fine to do during Ma. You can talk during Ma.
Yeah, that's part of the experience of Ma.
Yeah,
that's why
I was Ma, oh my God, get him, Ma, get him, Ma.
You gotta scream it. I have to be honest, I have been spacing out a little bit because we were talking about cigarettes, and something in my brain is telling me that I want one, and it's alarms going off, and I'm gonna be open about that just because that's what we talk about here.
Yeah, I get it.
It's really hard. I feel like should I get a patch or Nicorette gum?
Nicorette gum, I've never had it. I have a friend who got addicted to Nicorette gum with never smoking.
I'm afraid of that too because it apparently can give you diabetes.
What about Zen? Can you Zen?
Are those the little packets that you
put
little
pouches.
In your... That would make me so dizzy.
Yeah.
I assume. I don't know.
I think we got to get you on the Zen train.
You think that would fit?
That'll help you.
Brand.
That'll make you stronger.
The thing with all of those is that it doesn't sasatisfy the
oral fixation.
The oral fixation or the gesture of how nice it would be to just sit here and just smoke while we're talking. That's part of it. It provides punctuation to everything you say, and it provides a little bit of a high without making you. I think the Zyn packets, from what I've seen people say, are go straight into your blood and make you feel all dizzy.
Yeah.
Sort of like the first hit of a really, really strong cigarette.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'm into that.
Okay. I think we're about to wrap up.
Okay, we got to wrap up, folks.
So I want to make it feel like you're sitting in France.
Ugh,
You're sitting outside at a cafe.
beautiful.
You're smoking a cigarette,
Drinking a French 75.
drinking a French 7-Eleven, and
It's a French 75 in a Slurpee cup.
yeah, and I'm about to show you my stained glass art.
Yeah. Put it in the Louvre, baby.
You've listened to Rock Bottoms, a podcast of substance.
Thank you so much for being here, folks. We hope that you have a lovely week.
If
Stay
you
sober.
or a loved one are struggling with addiction, that sucks. I'm sorry.
That's the worst.
That
and you know
sucks.
what? You have the right to sing the blues.
Yeah, I'm really sorry.
Send us a message
Yeah.
just telling us
Enjoy
about how
your
much
life,
it sucks.
'cause it's over.
You're done.
You're done. You're fired.
But guess what? You can only go up from here.
Yeah. And that's life, baby.
Thanks,
Okay,
guys.
talk to y'all later.